There is a natural law of the universe, gentle and immutable, which dictates that after every cycle of ceaseless movement, all things return to the quiet sanctuary of rest. Just like a tree that has shed its last golden leaves after a vibrant summer, or the ocean waves that, after crashing against ancient cliffs, recede to restore stillness to the fine sand, we as human beings are no different. When you have dedicated your entire mind, energy, and most sincere emotions to a long day, to your work, your dreams, or the shared joys of life, the moment night falls is when your soul truly deserves its greatest reward. A complete letting go, a deep and profound rest. Tonight, as the final whistle of a busy day has officially blown, you do not need to try anymore. Allow yourself to close all the chapters of today. Let all worries drift away on the gentle breeze, so that your body and mind can sink into a space of absolute peace, where weariness is no longer a burden, but a sweet signal guiding you into a deep, sound sleep, preparing you for a bright tomorrow filled with renewed energy. Before we embark together on this journey back to the depths of tranquility, take a small moment to connect with the space around you. If you love the soothing, gentle moments that these stories bring, please click the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a small comment or note below. Your gentle companionship and interaction are the profound driving force that helps this channel continue its journey of nurturing beautiful dreams for the community. Now, let everything around you slow down, so very slow. Begin by finding the most comfortable and pleasant position for yourself on your familiar bed. You may lie on your back, with both arms resting naturally alongside your body, or turn to one side if that makes you feel more at ease. Readjust your pillow, pull the warm blanket up to your chest, and feel the soft, secure support of the mattress beneath you. Your entire body is wrapped in a space of complete peace, a safe haven, entirely separated from the noise and haste of the world outside. Now, gently close your eyelids. There is no need to squeeze them shut. Simply let the upper and lower lashes touch each other like two leaves falling onto a perfectly still lake. Focus your attention entirely on your own breath. Inhale a deep, slow breath through your nose, feeling the cool, gentle stream of air as it moves inside, filling your chest and abdomen. Hold that breath for a brief moment to feel the fresh vitality spreading through you, and then, slowly, very deliberately, exhale completely through your mouth. As you exhale, imagine that you are casting away all the tension and lingering thoughts of today into the outside world. With each breath out, your body becomes lighter, more relaxed. Continue to maintain that natural, even, and slow rhythm of breathing. Guide your attention to the crown of your head. Feel the muscles on your scalp gradually loosen, relaxing completely. That gentle relaxation begins to flow down to your forehead, smoothing away the tired lines of the day. The warm sensation continues to drift across your eyes, your cheeks, and down to your jaw. Slacken your jaw and let the corners of your mouth soften into a gentle, reassuring smile. Feel how your entire face has now become incredibly light and serene, like the surface of a lake, without a single ripple under the night moonlight. The flow of relaxation continues its downward journey into your neck and across both shoulders. Your shoulders, which carry so many burdens and responsibilities daily, are now sinking deep into the mattress, shedding every ounce of weight. The loosening sensation spreads down both arms, through your elbows, your wrists, and into each fingertip. You can feel a very faint, delicate warmth tingling in the palms of your hands, bringing a sense of deep peace and comfort. Now, carry that relaxation along your spine, letting it radiate through your back, your hips, and your abdomen. Your breath by now has become incredibly regular and rhythmic, rising and falling, just like the sound of ocean waves cradling the sandy shore on a breezy summer night. Feel your thighs, your knees, and your calves becoming completely loose. The weight of your entire body seems to be melting away, becoming one with the cozy bed beneath your back. Your feet and your toes are now resting entirely. There are no more steps to take, no more reasons to rush. At this very moment, there is nothing left for you to do. Nowhere else you need to go. You only need to be here, in this present second, listening to the rhythm of your own breath and letting your mind drift idly along with these soothing whispers. You are completely safe, completely protected, and loved. Just let yourself float in this quiet space. You have done a wonderful job with today. And now it is time for every cell in your body to regenerate, to be cradled by the stillness of the night. A light, warm sensation is enveloping you, preparing to lead you into a peaceful, natural space where the murmuring of ocean waves and the cool breeze from the vast sea are waiting to welcome you. Once your body has fully relaxed and your mind has begun to let go of the chaos of reality, let your imagination gently guide you through the billowing clouds, crossing vast distances to land upon a faraway country where nature and humanity harmonize in an absolute rhythm of peace. Feel a fresh current of air carrying the briny, liberating scent of the vast ocean, caressing your skin. You are standing at the edge of an immense sea, the deep blue Pacific Ocean merging with the distant horizon. This is the coastal town of Lorne, a hidden gem in the state of Victoria, Australia, nestled peacefully along the wild and romantic Great Ocean Road. The town of Lorne welcomes souls searching for tranquility with a characteristic summer atmosphere of the Southern Hemisphere. It is not a harsh, stifling heat that makes one feel suffocated, but rather a gentle summer, cooled by the sea breezes that blow constantly from the open ocean. These breezes carry crisp, refreshing moisture, softly brushing past rolling hills, stirring the long stretches of fine golden sand along the coast. As you take slow, barefoot steps upon that warm sand, you can hear the ocean waves regularly cradling the ancient sedimentary cliffs. The waves murmur over and over, creating a deep but incredibly relaxing background melody, a perpetual, cyclical sound that never ends, like the lullaby of the Mother Ocean to the mainland. Looking up at the hills behind the town, you will see the deep green, boundless eucalyptus forests rustling in the wind. The summer sunlight, golden like honey, filters through the canopy, leaving shimmering patches of light on the ground. The eucalyptus trees here carry a very distinct fragrance, a crisp, refreshing, and somewhat wild scent. Every time the wind blows through, the aroma of eucalyptus essential oil blends with the salinity of the sea salt, creating a wonderful fragrance. It possesses the power to soothe all tension in the mind, clearing the senses and bringing a profound feeling of relaxation. Occasionally, from high up in the towering branches, the clear chirping and joyous, laughter-like call of a kookaburra echoes, bringing life to the serene yet never lonely landscape. The town of Lorne appears with rustic, beautiful wooden houses nestled against the hillsides facing the sea. The small roads are winding and smooth, lined with patches of wild, colorful flowers blooming vividly under the summer sun. Life here passes slowly and peacefully, completely separated from the hurried, frantic pace of metropolitan areas. The people of Lorne carry the simple, open, and warm-hearted nature of those who grow up alongside the sea. They love nature, love the quietude of their homeland, and, above all, have a passionate love for sports flowing through their veins. For the locals here, sports are not merely matches to decide winners and losers on a green field. They have become an indispensable part of their breath, their daily lifestyle. It is an invisible yet incredibly strong thread that binds all generations in the town together. You can easily catch the image of toddlers who have just learned to run, clumsily kicking a ball on the grass, next to silver-haired elders sitting in armchairs, passionately discussing the sports legends of the country. That love is simple and natural, just like their own breath. And this year, as the greatest football festival on the planet, the FIFA World Cup, takes place, this tiny town seems to be infused with a new source of energy. An authentic warmth begins to kindle from the smallest street corners. It spreads across the long stretches of golden sand and flows into every kitchen, gleaming with lamplight, preparing for an emotional journey that the entire community will experience together. Let your mind completely immerse itself in the boundless space of sea and sky, filled with the scent of eucalyptus and the warmth of the town of Lorne, ready to listen to the story of the wonderful people here. Weeks before the official match of the national team took place, the rhythm of life in the coastal town of Lorne had already begun to shift in a magical way. No longer were there afternoons where everyone returned straight to their own homes after a hard day's work, nor were there scenes of doors tightly closed as the darkness of the Southern Hemisphere night slowly lowered its curtains. Whenever twilight fell, painting the distant sea horizon in shades of pink blending into deep purple, the townspeople would automatically gather at the central park next to the beach. It was a lush green space, where soft lawns stretched all the way to the edge of the fine sand, and where the murmuring of the ocean waves cradled the shore every night like an intimate soulmate. The old village chief of the fishermen, with his sun-bronzed skin and eyes etched with the crow's feet of time, the neighborhood carpenter with rough hands covered in calluses, the gentle primary school teacher with her warm voice, and the playful children always chirping like young birds. All of them cast aside every distance, every status, and the worries of daily life. In that space filled with the sea breeze, they prepared together for the community's grand festival. The carpenter had spent days meticulously using the finest planks of sea pine wood, wood that had absorbed the salinity of the ocean and the endurance of sun and wind, to saw and build long outdoor tables and benches. The rhythmic striking of the hammer and the steady glide of the saw echoed through the late afternoon like a passionate melody of dedication. Meanwhile, the children of the town were entrusted with a highly important and proud task. They were responsible for using green and gold water-based paint, the two sacred symbolic colors of Australian sports, to decorate the signs along the walkways, the wooden fences, and the benches around the park. Small hands smudged with paint, and innocent, pure smiles brightened under the fading twilight. Every preparation, every task, big or small, took place in a quiet yet intensely expectant atmosphere. They did not talk much about complicated football tactics, nor did they argue over the lineups of celebrity coaches on television. They only spoke of the pride of standing side by side, contributing their small efforts and looking toward the same beloved colors. It was a pure joy, a rustic, sincere, and deep community bond that grew stronger with each passing day of waiting, warming the heart of every resident in the small town. The final countdown days before the match, the town of Lorne completely immersed itself in a rustic yet vibrant festive atmosphere. From the balconies of every house, from the old wooden homes on the hilltops to the small cottages sitting right by the shore, green and gold pennant banners fluttered in the sea breeze. They created a vivid, brilliant dance of colors under the golden summer sun, reflecting onto the blue sea to compose a breathtakingly beautiful scene. At the town's only and historic bakery, the rich aroma of butter and the fragrant scent of golden baked flour wafted through the small alleyways, weaving into the leaves of the eucalyptus trees. The women of the village had volunteered to come here since the early hours of the morning, when the night dew had not yet vanished from the grass. They came to bake traditional Australian meat pies together, a dish that holds the culinary soul of the land of the kangaroos. They meticulously shaped each delicate layer of pastry, skillfully using toothpicks to pierce a tiny, lovely football shape onto the top crust with ultimate respect and love. Alongside them, large clay jars of cool, gently spiced ginger grapefruit juice were prepared, and large ice chests were stacked tightly along the walkway to keep everything fresh. Everyone worked together in a rhythmic, steady manner, like a machine operated by love. The ambient chatter and the clinking of kitchen utensils blended with the sound of the ocean waves far out at sea, creating an incredibly relaxing and peaceful background music. The carpenter, wiping beads of sweat from his forehead with an old handkerchief, turned a brilliant smile toward the village chief standing nearby. Well, chief, are we definitely going to make history this year. The village chief gently stroked his beard, which was as white as crane feathers, his eyes twinkling with joy and deep reflection. He slowly replied in a deep, warm voice, "Whatever the outcome of the match may be, just seeing our entire town gathering and joining hands like this, I believe we have already won. The power of unity, of kinship, lies right here, doesn't it?" The night before the match day, the sky over Lorne was crystal clear, without a single cloud. Strangely still. The magnificent Milky Way glittered like a silver ribbon across the Southern Hemisphere night sky, reflecting upon the deep, black, boundless, and silent ocean. Inside the wooden houses on the hills, warm yellow lights still burned dimly, casting long beams down the empty streets. The football fans in the town idly checked their jerseys and, carefully smoothing out every small crease on the chest, they stayed awake, not out of heavy anxiety, but with the sweet, soothing wakefulness of souls waiting for a miracle, for a great festival of life. The sound of the sea breeze blowing through the eucalyptus trees sang a soft rustle, like a gentle whisper of nature, cradling the small town before the storm of intense emotions officially made landfall tomorrow. And then, the fateful day. The day everyone had been waiting for finally arrived. As the sun rose from the distant horizon of the sea, spreading a magnificent, glorious golden ribbon across the undulating waves, the entire town of Lorne awoke in a state full of vitality, without needing to be told, without a single reminder. From exactly 8 o'clock in the morning, the square next to the shore was packed. A huge, modern LED screen was erected right in the middle of the lush green grass, facing the vast open ocean. The people brought vibrant, colorful picnic mats and portable folding chairs made of canvas, sitting closely together, shoulder to shoulder, back to back. Everyone wore the green and gold jersey, creating a brilliant sea of color that brightened an entire corner of the Lorne sky, dispelling the lingering chill of the early morning. The match officially began under the late afternoon sun, as the final rays of the day started turning a deep orange when the referee's whistle blew sharply on the screen. The entire square seemed to freeze for a split second. All of creation held its breath. And then it instantly exploded into a thunderous, heartfelt cheer of the entire population. The children of Australia in this tiny town beat with a single synchronized pulse, an inseparable bond. Every movement of the ball rolling on the green turf of the stadium, thousands of miles away, caused thousands of people in Lorne to hold their breath, their hearts beating continuously with each touch of the ball. When the home team's striker dashed down the wing with speed, the entire square stood up simultaneously like a wave, arms raised high toward the sky, eyes fixed with longing, hope, and absolute faith. And when the ball bypassed the reach of the opposing goalkeeper, nesting squarely into the corner of the net, the explosion reached the absolute pinnacle of transcendence. Cheers of victory. The rhythmic thudding of leather drums and the unison blare of vuvuzelas rose together, echoing and shaking the ancient sedimentary cliffs, blending into the roar of the ocean. Warm, tight embraces between neighbors who usually only nodded to each other in passing now brought tears of joy and happiness, shared without needing an explanation. Tears of happiness rolling down the wrinkled cheeks of an 80-year-old elder, blended with the bright, innocent laughter of a 5-year-old child riding high on his father's shoulders. That was the beautiful pitch-side dance of fellowship, where the purest joy of football erased all boundaries of age and status, crystallizing into a profound and sacred national pride. The match concluded with a perfect outcome, Ainz sending the national team into the next round of the tournament. But the referee's final whistle was not the end of everything. On the contrary, it was the signal to open an endless celebration night, a banquet of emotions that lasted through the night until the noon of the following day. Great bonfires were lit along the pristine beach of Lorne. The flickering orange-gold flames cast a warm glow onto radiant faces, which were a little tired after hours of tension, but filled with complete, blissful happiness. Trays of hot meat pies and cups of fragrant ginger grapefruit juice were passed around continuously without interruption. The rustic sound of an acoustic guitar rose into the night, and the townspeople lined up to dance on the fine sand, bare feet, feeling the cool embrace of the sea sand and the radiating warmth of the ancestral bonfire. Together, they sang the song of victory thousands of times, their voices carried far away by the sea breeze. When the full moon rose high to the crown of the sky, illuminating the entire region of sea and sky, and then slowly set toward the west to make way for the first dawn of the next day, the music and laughter still did not fade completely. The celebration festival continued naturally through the noon of the second day. Stories of the golden winning goal and the miraculous save of the young goalkeeper were told over and over with enthusiasm among close friends. Looking back on that wonderful journey, we realize that every match will eventually have its final injury time. Every festival must eventually come to a departure, and thunderous cheers will eventually dissolve into the boundless void. Yet, the most precious and sacred thing that remains after a World Cup season is not the prestigious trophies made of gold, but the invisible thread that has pulled neighbors closer together. The synchronized heartbeat of a community filled with love and enduring connection. Football and sports, after all, are a magical excuse for humans to live most truly with their emotions, dedicating their full energy to a shared love. When you dare to burn completely, dare to be tired in a wholehearted way for those around you, your soul reaches absolute fulfillment. And after those moments of brilliant explosion, the quiet serenity of sleep is the finest healing gift, warming the soul and preparing energy for bright tomorrows. The human body is not a perpetual machine, and every fire, no matter how bright, will eventually retreat to warm embers after long weeks of preparation in eager anticipation. A day of burning completely alongside the rhythms of a rolling ball, and a sleepless night of celebration extending into the noon of the next day. Weariness began to find the people of Lorne in the most gentle and sweet way possible. The afternoon light of the following day painted a fading golden hue, casting long shadows of people across the wide beach of Lorne. The scorching heat of the festival began to cool, transforming into a state of tiredness that was complete, blissful, and content. The legs of the strongest young men, who had danced without reservation on the sand all through the night, had now grown weary and heavy. The fiery voices and thunderous cheers from before had receded, giving way to soft, quiet chuckles and gentle, relaxed whispers. A state of complete exhaustion had arrived, but it was not the weariness of heavy burdens, but the exhaustion of total happiness found in souls that had lived and given their everything. The rhythm of the town of Lorne began to slow down, so very slow, much like the tide slowly receding from the shore, returning the innate tranquility to the strip of fine sand. The frantic, joyful beating of the drums had stopped, and the vuvuzelas fell silent. Instead, the space was filled by the sound of ocean waves regularly cradling the sandy shore, washing in, washing out. That cyclical sound felt like a healing hymn of the ocean, softly soothing the fatigue of the body. The bonfires along the beach, after a long night of warming human hearts, had now dwindled. They no longer possessed powerful flames leaping upward, but were merely glowing embers, radiating a soft, gentle heat that warmed the surrounding air. As the second twilight began to fall, the townspeople started packing their belongings, gathering their picnic mats and folding chairs in a strangely relaxed silence. No one hurried, no one rushed. They walked at a leisurely pace, enjoying the peaceful energy that enveloped the entire town. On the lawn of the Central Park, a few strong young men could no longer resist the cradling embrace of nature. They lay down right on the wool mats, spread upon the grass, arms still pillows for the green and gold national flag, eyes half closed in complete contentment. The corners of their mouths still held a peaceful smile, as if all their most beautiful dreams had already come true. The little children, after a long day of running and jumping, had fallen fast asleep on their parents' shoulders. Their breath was regular and soft, blending into the night breeze that carried the pure scent of eucalyptus blowing down from the high hills. As darkness completely lowered its curtains, The lights inside the wooden houses on the hills began to turn off, one by one. The tiny town finally returned to its original stillness, sinking deep into a quiet sanctuary after the storm of transcendent emotions. Under the silent, distant moon of the Southern Hemisphere sky, everything in Lorne seemed to be embraced and protected by the gentle hand of Mother Nature. Every boundary between humanity, the sea, and the night seemed to fade, blending into one another to create a mystical space of intersection where all movement dissolved into absolute silence. Now, let the tiredness, the lingering echoes of the past 2 days of celebration drift along with the great waves out into the open sea, dissolving into the boundless, infinite ocean. You no longer need to think, no longer need to remember anything at all. Gently close your eyelids in a natural way, holding tightly onto that authentic warmth, the human kindness, and those beautiful, perfect memories within the depths of your heart. The entire town of Lorne has burned completely, has lived every moment to the fullest, and now it is time for the body, for the soul of every resident, and for you to rest completely in a deep, peaceful sleep, free of dreams. The space around you now is absolutely still. The sound of the ocean waves far out at sea, echoing back at this moment, is just a vague and soothing and regular whisper from some faraway realm, murmuring, the crisp, refreshing fragrance of eucalyptus essential oil, blended with the briny scent of the night sea, drifts gently through the window, softly enveloping your mind, soothing every cell, bringing a feeling of absolute safety and protection. You are floating weightlessly in a space as soft as velvet, where there is no time, no pressure, only pure peace manifesting itself. Let your mind sink deeper, even deeper into the night. Each of your breaths by now has become incredibly soft, slow, and natural every time you breathe out. Your entire body feels as though it is sinking further into the cozy bed, as light as a feather drifting leisurely down to the earth. Sleep is arriving, gentle and nurturing, like the hand of a loving mother, softly wiping away the last beads of sweat, warming your soul with absolute serenity. Completely let go of the last remaining shred of awareness, allowing yourself to drift into the dream world. Good night, town of golden dreams. Good night, peaceful soul. When the dawn of the new day wakes you up, when you open your eyes to welcome a new day with a body full of vitality and a refreshed spirit, after a deep sleep, remember to come back to this video. Your presence, your likes, your subscriptions, and even the thoughts you share in the comments tomorrow morning are the precious gifts that help us continue spreading healing energy to everyone. For now, just sleep deeply, sleep well. Leave everything of tomorrow until tomorrow comes tonight. You only need to sleep a completely wholehearted sleep.